Shalom, shalom. Before I get this very short lesson started, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from. And a shalom to the whole elect men taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the hopefully elect spirits of Yasharallah, the elect, the hopefully elect, to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Adah. Just want to point out some of this this BS that Esau is doing in the media with the chariots of Yahweh, the Yahweh of hosts, the armies of the Most High, who are our brothers, at least on the right-hand side. The holy angels who operate the chariots, what Esau has accused of being UFO or UAPs, and how they're just doing this enchantment on television where they're going around and they're admitting half truths, but they're not being straightforward with the nature or the origin or even the identity, the true identity of who these men, who these hosts, what these chariots are, and that is called blasphemy. Okay, I'm gonna let a couple of these TikTok videos play. It's just pissing me off because it's like the scriptures are clear and they explain how the Most High works on the right and left hand side. The chariots are called wings. They're called the UFOs are called wings, chariots, whirlwinds, wheels within wheels. They're called a curse. Not that they themselves are the curse, but they bring about the curse. They're called the hosts. They're called clouds. They're called horses. They're called all these names. They're likened unto birds. And when you look at a bird, a flock of birds flying, what do you see? You see a formation. It's the same thing. These are all the dark sayings and mysteries and riddles that how the Most High, how Yahweh Shai, how the Spirit speaks about the hosts that operate these chariots, and how they carry out the will of Yahweh on the right and left hand side. And Esau is just playing games, man. I want to let some of this stuff play and then we'll be done.
Submarine fleet is being shadowed by UAPs, aka UFOs. That's what reportedly former U.S. Navy Admiral Tim Gallaudet will be testifying about on Wednesday at the House of Representatives Oversight Committee.
After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar tracks with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, two F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15.
Now remember the shape of this particular UAP we know to be a chariot. Remember this. It's telling you it's similar to a square, right? Inside of a circle. Just remember that.
Feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base.
In previous hearings, we've seen former U.S. Navy and Air Force pilots testifying about UAPs, but what does a former U.S. Navy admiral has to say about the UAP phenomenon? Reports indicate that parts of the former U.S. Navy admiral's testimony would be about underwater UAPs shadowing the U.S. nuclear submarine fleet.
They hook the diver up on the winch and they're lowering him in, and as he's...
Now remember that too. You got so-called UAPs doing what? Shadowing nuclear atomic bomb submarines. So what are they doing? They're letting their presence be known around the biggest sword, the biggest weapon that Esau and the nations have, right? They're showing you something. They're right there, standing close, observing. They're not asking permission. They're not being shot down. Esau can't do shit as one of these holy angels in a chariot just shows up by a top secret location where they're dealing with their most powerful weapons, right? That's telling you something. You gotta read, and and they're not explaining it this way. They're telling you something.
looking down, he sees this big, massive, he goes, it's not a submarine. You've seen submarines before. Once you see a submarine, you can't confuse it with something else. This big object, kind of circular, he says, is coming up from the depths. And he starts screaming through the intercom system to tell him to pull the diver up. And the diver's like a few feet from the water. So they reverse the winch, and the diver's thinking, what the hell's going on? And then he's getting pulled up, and all of a sudden, he said the torpedo just got sucked down underwater, and the object just descended back down into the depths. And they never recovered the torpedo.
So the equivalent of this is, let's say someone pulls a gun out on you in broad daylight, or you're cleaning your weapon, or you're loading your fucking AR-15, and someone just walks up to you and just takes it out of your hand and walks off. Or you pull your weapon out on somebody and they just supernaturally make it come out of your hand. They don't kill you. They turn their back on you as they take your weapon out of your hand and they just walk off. That is absolute superior dominance, dude. That's what that move was. You are not running shit. I just took. How much does a nuclear torpedo cost? How much money was that? They couldn't arrest this person. They couldn't bring charges on him. They couldn't shoot him like they do so-called black males in the streets. They couldn't do a fucking thing. That's the equivalent of these moves that these hosts of Yahweh are doing. They're showing absolute superior dominance, man. They're not asking no one for permission. They're not identifying themselves, but in fact, they are identifying themselves by what they're doing. They're showing you who they are by what they're doing. These are not fucking aliens, man. These are not monsters with big fucking heads from goddamn Mars.
And this happened in the late 90s.
Also among people who will be testifying on Wednesday, a former NASA administrator, Mr. Michael Gold. So far, NASA has kept it very low-key on the UAP debate, but depending on what Mr. Gold will be revealing tomorrow at the testimony, the agency might be forced to release any kind of evidence and document they have on UAP sightings. Breaking news.
So like I said in one of my comments on one of these videos, if these bastards refuse to speak the truth about history and just present day news, what the fuck makes you think they're going to speak the truth about this topic? They can't even tell you the truth about the true nation, the names of nations according to the biblical names given to us in prophecy. And they don't even want critical race theory being taught because it exposes Esau for what the fuck he is. If they can't tell you the truth about American history, what makes you think they're going to speak the truth about this?
So this happened yesterday. They are
Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote, advanced technologies not by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe, end quote. If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies?
I'm going to stop right there. We got to get that precept. The eyes of Yahweh. So look at this. This is Revelations. Before I get that precept, let me speak this. This is, hold on. Okay, yep. So Revelations 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And we understand that blasphemies goes into, the etymon says what blasphemies are. And blasphemy is what? It's impious or profane speaking of the Most High or sacred things. Who owns and controls the media? A specific race of people does. Who owned and controlled the press and the radio before the media was created? That same exact fucking race. And that race is identified in Scripture as Amalek and Esau, Amalek being the head tribe of Esau, the so-called fucking white man today. So since television and radio and TV, all you have been seeing is this fucking particular race of people's not interpretation, but their narrative of what Scripture calls to be the chariots. They've been telling you about flying saucers and fucking Martian men. When in fact they are the host of heaven. They're the armies of heaven. And so you got how many, a century of fucking programming coming from television, magazines, and radio. and newspapers of nothing but lies from this group of people, so that now when someone tells you it's in the Bible, it's hard for your brain to comprehend it because you're so full of television. You remember Steven Spielberg's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You remember War of the Worlds. You remember Aliens. You remember all these fucking spaceship movies, right? But you can't associate that with Scripture. You can't bring it into your mind. You can't admit that the Most High and His Son Yahushua have this type of technology, because on that same television, anytime you see a biblical movie, you see white men with British accents in robes and sandals in the dust. Any fucking time you see a picture of Yahushua, you see that image. And then anytime you see anything that has to do with outer space, you see futuristic technology, but you don't see it being associated with the scriptures. So your brain cannot bring the two together because you're so indoctrinated as what you have seen. But yet here we are, we're defining what blasphemy is. Blasphemy is an impious or profane speaking against the Most High, and the Most High has an army. And Esau has accused his army of not being his army by saying that they are Martians and that their ships break down and that they can reverse engineer the technology. Esau cannot reverse engineer the fucking technology, bro. Revelations 13:5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and powers was given unto him to continue 40 days and 2 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. Right here, same thing. This is the Edamon. This ain't even a scriptural book. This is just giving you definitions of words, man. Okay? And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name, which means he changed his name. His name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahushai, but the world thinks his name is God or Jehovah or Jesus. And his image, too, by giving you a white image. And his tabernacle, that's talking about the location and the actual bodies of the elect. Who the real Hebrew Israelites are, and them that dwell in heaven, talking about the host. Don't the hosts come from heaven? Yes, they do. But you guys think they're fucking Martians. Let's go back to the video. Shit's pissing me off because now we know. We're awake. We know the truth. And it's the same. What do you see? You see an Edomite fucking woman. A highly educated, powerful. She probably comes from a fucking family. It's a seed line within that family. She's been picked for this job. She's acting like she's asking questions, and they're going to give half-truth answers. They're not going to tell you that this is the army of heaven that's watching everything, okay? They're going to just give you lies. Hold on, Salakia. When you pull out, it doesn't come back. So here's that video.
Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote, advanced technologies not by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe, end quote.
Okay, what'd she just say? She said non-human from not our nation or other nations are monitoring, watching, beholding, right? Witnessing, reporting. What does the scripture say? Look, is it the angels? I'm going to get the eyes too, but the angels are, let me see, the angels, is it the angels behold the good and the bad? The angels behold the good and bad? Let me see, or is it just say that Yahweh? For the eyes, okay, so the eyes. But who and what are the eyes? Yes, Yahweh has eyes and he can see everything, but he has a system that he operates through. The eyes of Yahweh are in every place, beholding the evil and the good, right? And we know that the eyes are these angels. They are recording and reporting everything back to the Father. They even report and record on us, the prophets, the hopeful elect. I know I got angels in my life. They report when I mess up and when I do right. They report everything back to him, and that's what's up. Okay? Let's do the other one. The eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. There it is, Ecclesiasticus. And this is talking about the angels. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, or the reports or the witness of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Going into the chariots, man, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. Well, what's Esau fucking doing? He's doing all kind of shit in secret, right? And the angels are right there watching him. And these people are giving you a report, but they understand that the majority of the planet Earth is ignorant of the scriptures. God damn it, man. Fucking thing every time. Hold on. Salakia. There we go.
I was hungry. I just grabbed this bad.
Shut your ass up. Listen.
Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote, advanced technologies not by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe, end quote. If these technologies are not made by any government, who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
Well, ma'am, that's precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, to put this in perspective...
Are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
How would you characterize UAPs?
An enigma, sir, and a frustration. We're talking about technologies that can outperform anything we have in our inventory. And if this was an adversarial technology, this would be an intelligence failure eclipsing that of 9/11 by an order of magnitude.
Okay, so how does the human mind work? I'm not an expert on it, but I know enough to know this. If I didn't know the scriptures and if I wasn't awake, I'm 53 years old, man. I've been living in America the entire time. Well, what is America? It's got a whole bunch of television, a whole bunch of fucking big screen TVs and movies. My entire life, I was raised up watching E.T., fucking scary UFO movies on Twilight Zone, and fucking goddamn Close Encounters of the Third Kind, fucking The Day the Earth Stood Still, War of the Worlds, all this shit. Let's pull some of it up, man. Let me see. Let's pull some of it up. Look at this. We're going to YouTube it. Just, let me see. We'll just say UFO movies. UFO movies. Just to see if that, whatever that fucking pulls up. Okay, so you got, there's a movie, the UFO, they don't want you to see. No, I want to talk about just the normal fucking shit, man. Like fucking, god damn it, man. Let me see. See, that's a movie. So you got aliens, you got let me see, I guess I gotta be more specific. UFO movies. Let's just say Close Encounters. Close Encounters. Alright, so this is a major movie that Steven Spielberg did, right? I mean, it went all over the world. So it told you that UFOs are aliens because the scene at the end showed you that big tall alien right here. This scene right here. So this scene right here, I mean, this was...
Did you know that in the 1977 classic Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the small aliens in the movie were actually...
So look, so you see this, and so now this is blasphemy because it was a brilliant production, but it's telling you that the chariots and the persons that operate the chariots look like these fucking things, and that's not what they are. Esau got the jump on our minds. This is just one movie. This was a huge box office hit. The music, the way it was produced, you know what I mean? There was no internet back then. You went to the theater and you were just like in hypnosis state watching this shit, right?
After visiting the set of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, George Lucas was so sure Close Encounters would outperform
And then you got fucking Star Wars. So you got all these, you see the magnificent lights and the chariots and the UFOs and everyone that flies in them, right,
after visiting the set
is a fucking like an alien or a futuristic, cool looking white person, right? And these images literally get etched into your brain. Then when you see the Ten Commandments, when you see a movie out of the Bible on that same television screen, this is what you see. You only see you only see past. You see the past, like robes and sandals. There's no cars. There's no airplanes, which when those stories were written, that was the case with mankind back then, right? But that's not who the Most High is. That was him and his people on the earth, but the Most High is seated on the throne and he's surrounded by chariots. It says that in the book of Daniel. He's got wheels around his throne. Those wheels are talking about the chariots. He's got an army of chariots surrounding him. So every time you see a movie out of the Bible, you see them dressed like this. It's ancient, which is true. But then when you see a chariot movie, War of the Worlds, let me see. War of the Worlds. It's futuristic. And so now these images are in your mind. See that? Remember that? When that guy zapped that lady and turned her into dust? So when you see these chariot movies, you see futuristic stuff. But when you see biblical movies, that's when that lady got evaporated. And that's actually scriptural too. There's a precept that says that your eyes are going to burn, and your eyes and your tongue are going to burn out of your head, and your out of your socket, and your bones are going to be standing there. But all this stuff they got it from the scriptures, and they're telling their version, and no one understands that the chariots are literally the officials. They're the officials of the Most High. They're watching everything. They're stopping stuff from when it happens too soon. They're holding back the winds. It says this right here, the angels that were holding back the winds. Holding back, it's in Revelations, holding back the winds. Holding back the winds, right? Right here, boom. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. How do you stand on the 4 points of the earth? You got to be up in the sky somewhere, right? Holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. What's this wind? What's the big deal about this wind? It's talking about the destroying wind. And I saw another angel sent from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the sea and the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. So that wind is deadly. Okay? And we're in this time zone now. So the angels are holding back. The chariots and the angels are being sent out by Yahweh, and they're dictating the minds. They're controlling the minds of men and women on the earth, because the Most High is in control. He declares, I'm giving a lot of information, but he declares unto man, what is his thought? Unto man, what is his thoughts? In Amos. Let me see. It didn't give it to me. What the fuck? Yeah, there we go. So it's in Amos. So, for lo, he that formeth the mountains. It's talking about the Most High, Yahweh. The mountains are talking about rulerships and governments. And createth the wind, and declareth unto man what is his thought. That's the point. The thoughts that we have are all dictated by the spiritual realm. Even the rulers of the fucking people doing this shit, all their thoughts are being dictated.
Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote,
Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries.
No, they're not. The technologies that they have was directly given to them by the left-hand side, if they have any technologies. But the way they're telling it, a UFO crashed. They don't crash, you guys. Ezekiel tells you the spirit of the living creature, the spirit of the creature is in the wheel. So it's Ezekiel 1, I believe. Yeah. So look at this. So look. And when the living creatures went, okay, hold on. Let's read some of this so you guys see the context. Okay. Let's start at 13. As for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like the burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. And the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. So that's showing you just how the so-called UAPs move, how they can do 90-degree angle turns, doing like Mach 50. something that a human being can't do. That's there goes your. They move back and forth like lightning. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, verse 15, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures was with his four faces. The appearance, verse 16, the appearance of the wheels and their works was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were the wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. Now, were they literally full of eyeballs? No, that's the spirit. They have these men in these ships, these holy angels in these ships. They can move interdimensionally. They're not going to crash into anything. They have perfect vision. They're not going to bump into anything and run out of gas, man. As for the rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them. Ezekiel's getting all this understanding in the spirit, and he's seeing this like 3,000 years ago, man. Okay, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So that's that mind body, that connection they were talking about. That's what this is explaining right here. Okay, so verse 20, wheresoever the spirit was to go. So the spirit of the angel, the fire of the angel, is the fuel and the navigation system for the actual ship. Wheresoever the spirit was to go, they went, whither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. There goes your spiritual connection. So when these angels step into these chariots, they connect. Do you remember the movie Avatar? When those people, the blue people, their hair would connect with the flying creature that they would fly on, and they called that the bond. It's that symbolic of this right here, man. When the host gets into the chariot, his spirit, his fire, his being literally connects with the chariot, and they become one. And that's the wings covering his face, man. That's what that's talking about. So all this stuff can be explained in the scriptures, right?
I believe we're in the...
But these bitch motherfuckers aren't going to do it. Why? Because they were given a mouth to speak blasphemy. And everybody's waiting for some white man to tell them that there's an alien out there. When that same white man can't even tell you the truth about so-called black and white history. He can't even tell you the truth about slavery, dude. What makes you think he's going to tell you the truth about this topic? He can't tell you the truth about 9/11. He can't tell you the truth whether he went to the moon or not. They don't tell the truth about any fucking thing. They're not going to tell the truth about this.
Midst of a multi-decade secretive arms race.
And this shit fucking pisses me off, bro. Because so many people are deceived on this shit, man. Oh, aliens. There ain't no fucking aliens, man. It's the future destruction of America when Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua is sent.
One funded by misallocated taxpayer dollars and hidden from our elected representatives and oversight bodies. For many years, I was entrusted with protecting some of our nation's most sensitive programs. In my last position, I managed a special access program on behalf of the White House.
And look at the guy's fingers up in the left-hand corner. See that? That's not a normal hand gesture. These are Freemasons. These people are all in the know. They're all about lying. This is what they were released to do on the earth. Look at the hand. Look at the fucking hand up in the left-hand corner. The inverted triangle. That's not normal. You can't see his face. Come on, man. These fucking people are shit, bro.
House and the National Security Council. As such, I appreciate the need to protect certain sensitive intelligence and military information. I consider my oath...
They fucking act like they're just so righteous, huh? With their suits and their ties. And every time the white lady asks a question, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yeah, see, so look how we are. We're so nice to women. It's all a fucking act, dude. It's all an act. This is all Esau has been doing, dude. These motherfuckers want to destroy the planet Earth, to destroy Jacob, to try to get the birthright back. And they know that Yahushua is coming back on one of these chariots to take the throne, to take the earth. And they don't want the firstborn, the only begotten son of Yahweh, the one who is rightfully to rule on the earth. They don't want him to rule, bro. So they're doing all this shit. Just three-card Molly tricks. Just, oh yeah, there is something out there, but we don't know what it is. There is something out there, but we don't know what it is. Yes, they know what it is, man.
To protect secrets as sacred, and I will always put the safety of the American people first.
And they're just so concerned for the American people. The American people. Same race of people is feeding you GMO foods. Same fucking race of people just opened up the borders and caused this entire problem. Same race of people is now going to become draconian and write laws to fix the problem. This is the same race of people that had us in slavery. Same race of people who wrote the 13th Amendment. What does that 13th Amendment say? It lets you go from being a slave in the field to a slave in their prison system. Same fucking race of people who brought crack cocaine into this nation and let it run rampant for 4 or 5 years until it got out of control. And then that same race of people got on TV. Oh my God, we got to save the American people from the black crackheads. Same race of people, man. Same race of people who did 9/11, same race of people who've been in all over the earth up everybody's ass with their military, stealing their fucking natural resources. Same race of people. Same race of people, man.
With that said, I also understand the consequences of excessive secrecy and stovepiping. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the aftermath of 9/11, which many of us remember all too well.
And that was them. They did 9/11. And they still use that lie to this day. The boogeyman. The Middle Eastern boogeyman. We got to save the American people from the Middle Eastern boogeyman. There's always a fucking boogeyman that this pink-red motherfucker has to save the world from. Have you noticed it? Dude, what would we do if the white man wasn't on the earth? We would be doomed. I'm being sarcastic. But according to this motherfucker, bro, if he wasn't here, we just wouldn't be able to function as a people on the earth, man. He's got to save everybody. He's the motherfucking criminal.
I believe that America's greatness depends on 3 elements. A watchful Congress, B, a responsive executive branch, and C, an informed public.
America's greatness is not written in scripture like that. America gets destroyed. See, they're always talking about preserving and saving America. America gets destroyed in prophecy.
For the last decade and a half, I learned that certain UAP programs were and are operating without any of these elements. Although much of my government work on the UAP subject still remains classified, excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. A small cadre within our own government involved in the UAP topic has created a culture of suppression and intimidation that I've personally been victim to, along with many of my former colleagues. This includes unwarranted criminal investigations, harassment, and efforts to destroy one's credibility. Most Americans would be shocked to learn that the Pentagon's very own Public Affairs Office openly employs a professional psychological operations officer as the singular point of contact for any UAP-related inquiries from citizens and the media.
Anyways, he's just babbling. I want to go.
Mr. Elizondo, you see.
So this breaking news.
But soon, we began to correlate the radar track with multiple onboard sensors, including objects operating in our
That we'll be testifying about on Wednesday at the House of Representatives Oversight Committee.
After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar track with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, 2 F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP.
That's what I wanted to get. See that square?
The object, described as a
See how it's a square?
dark gray or black.
All right, now look at this. How many coincidences are there in scriptures with what these motherfuckers are saying and the hopeful elect men, right, who acknowledge the doctrine, who teach the same doctrine of GMS, who acknowledge the elders and apostles of the GMS, who teach the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. How many coincidences? This is the curse. This is the curse. This is the curse. That, this should be, okay. Look at this. Go back one. What seest thou? And he said, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. What's a cubit? A cubit is about 1.5 feet. So what is he describing? He's described, so if it's 1.5 feet, 20 cubits would be what? 30 feet. And the breadth of 10 cubits, if the width, which is the breadth means width, right? Okay, so if it's 10 cubits, that means it's 15 cubits. So you're seeing something 30 by 15 feet. 30 feet by 15 feet. Kind of like a thick triangle. A square shape. Sounds very odd, right? It doesn't matter the shape. These are interdimensional crafts. They can take on any shape. The next verse. Verse 3. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, for everyone that stealeth. This is a key word. This is not just some random statement. Everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Listen to this one. And I will bring forth, saith Yahweh of hosts. These are the armies. That's what the hosts are. That's what the word host means. The little box you see in the center, that craft, inside of it is a warrior, is an angel, a host. Okay, this is how the Most High gets down. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. Okay, so now you have it 2 times mentioned, he that stealeth, and now the house of the thief. What is a house? A house is a family, is a seed or bloodline that becomes a nation of people. That's what this is talking about. So this is a race of thieves. This is a whole, and what has Esau done? He has obtained possession of the majority of the earth through his sword. He's in Africa right fucking now as we speak, stealing all the goddamn resources. He stole us as a people and brought us over here to make us slaves. We still are in his power. He stole America from the northern kingdom that was over here. Everywhere this fucking man goes, he steals inventions through the patent system. He stole all of our inventions during slavery through the patent system, and he takes credit for it. It's constantly going on. Okay? This is talking about these motherfuckers, man. All right? So you saw the measurements in this particular prophecy, basically calling out 20 cubits, 10 cubits. It's a flying roll, but it's shaped like a triangle. And right here, they're telling you they saw a triangle. How many freaking coincidences do you motherfuckers need to hear before you accept the truth, man? Good Lord. I don't care about your fucking feelings. You guys listen to this stuff.
Mr. Elizondo, you say...
You just don't listen.
Breaking news.
During a training mission in warning area
I want to believe what the white man says. Then you can die with him.
Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, 2 F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned base.
Previous hearings.
And they couldn't do shit about it. So that tells you right there who is superior. All right? So I'm done with this lesson. I'm starting to get all over the place. I'm getting mad, man. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from, and shalom to the hopefully elect men taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahushai, who is coming back on a huge chariot, a.k.a. a UAP the size of a mountain, to melt the armies of Esau, Edom, and anyone else that is teamed up with Esau, Edom. That is the war in heaven. Okay? Revelations 12, I believe. Revelations 18. Let's get it. Michael and his angels fought. It's talking about Michael and his angels, and I'll end the lesson. Michael and his angels. So, and there was war in heaven. The word heaven is talking about the rulership of the earth. It's not talking about a long time ago. It's talking about, and this is coming up in the future, man. That's The war in heaven is all this stuff they're talking
Seen
about.
former
This is what they're getting ready for, the Space Force and all that. There's going to be a clash of two realms. Chariots from heaven, Yahweh of hosts and Yahushai, and Esau and all his little technologies. And there was war in heaven, and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. His rulership is taken from him. This is not talking about Satan, the prince demon spirit, falling out of heaven. This is talking about Esau, who is the dragon, the Roman Empire, somewhat a race of people losing their grip on the earth. And it takes UAPs, so-called UAPs from heaven to do so. That's how powerful the so-called white man is on the fucking earth. That it's going to take an outside invasion of angels and Yahushai in chariots to do so. Because no one else can remove this fucker from power on the planet, you guys. All right? And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. Who's deceiving the world? Is it actually the spirit demon Satan, or is it the fucking white man who doesn't want to fucking tell the truth about anything? They can't.
So this happened yesterday.
Look at this. You see this guy's pointing out that Donald Trump and this bastard Biden, they're doing a fucking Freemason handshake right here. It's just right in your face, showing you there's no such thing as right and left, Democrat, Republican. They're the same race of people guiding the people dividedly down the same path to destruction.
They are mocking us right in front of our face. Does that look like a normal handshake to you? Oh, and for those who are saying this is a fake picture, I brought the receipts.
Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having.
Now ask yourself this question. Is that a normal handshake to you? Now I'm not sure about you guys, but it sure looks like this handshake right here. And when you do further research on the Lion's Paw handshake, you will see what it means or what it symbolizes. So we can see right here how the
So it's just this race of people, man. They are what the scriptures say, man. Esau is the wicked. He's the devil. He's all this. The great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So this is your brother Radah. Shalom.